For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
This is Report to Wyoming.
I'm Colby Fedor, and my guest today is Nalani Bennet. She is a family and parenting specialist who works at the Mercer Family Resource Center in Casper. This is actually the second time that Nalani has come and done our podcast. In this episode, we talk about the community baby shower coming up in the second week of April, but we also talk about parenting. And I really like our focus on family time, fun, creating special moments with your children, helping them learn and grow and gain a sense of responsibility. You've got a community baby shower coming up April 12th.
Yeah, April 12th. It'll be at the Boys and Girls Club on East K Street, so the main club. It's from 10 to noon, so just 2 hours, but we have our community baby shower. Everybody that comes gets some diapers and wipes, we have so many diapers and wipes, so please come get some. We have a bunch of bags to give away with some goodies in them, some information. There's a bunch of businesses around town like Banner, Habitat for Humanity, Once Upon a Child, just a bunch of businesses that help with families and are involved with kids. There's going to be raffles, giveaways, Mercer, ourselves. We have 7 giveaway baskets that we'll have drawings for. We'll draw right at the end of the event, so if you stay there, you can take it home with you right away. If you need to come back or pick it up the next week, you can, but we just have a lot of resources and things for families, expecting moms, or kids up to 3 is what we usually try to tend to.
Well, this sounds fun. Is this a family-friendly event? So you could bring maybe older siblings or...
Yeah, older siblings can come. Actually, my kids will probably be there helping me
Nice.
do everything because we like to have the whole family be involved with these events. So, yeah, bring everybody and just come on by and see what the community has to offer for your needs and see what you can get.
Is this something that is an annual event?
Yes, it is. I believe this is the 10th annual one. I feel like that's a lot of pressure on me for it to be the 10th. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, the 10th annual baby shower, 10
That's
years
pretty cool.
running. It's pretty crazy.
And I don't know why. I don't know if there's an uptick or what. Maybe I should call the CDC or even Banner and see if it's just coincidence. But I feel like I've seen so many pregnant mamas, which of course is a really dangerous judgment, but I've just seen pregnant mamas and little babies everywhere. And it could just be that it's springtime and more people are emerging. But it certainly seems like that's in the air.
I feel like I have too. Even my kids have been pointing it out too. Like, oh my gosh, there's a baby. And maybe it is the nicer weather. Or people are starting to come out of their houses more. But I don't know. There's been a lot of babies, and it kind of gives me baby fever a little bit. But I'm excited. So bring your babies. Like, let's all get out of the house a little bit, and yeah, it'll be fun.
I would make an argument for having a spring baby if you can plan it out that perfectly, which nobody really can. But both my kids were born in April and May, and it was a good time because then you've got the newborn phase during the summer months. I don't know, I guess I just don't know any different, but I thought that was nice because we could get out of the house, stroll around. I wasn't going crazy inside, so...
I got lucky with both of mine. My first was born at the beginning of June, so I had her at the beginning of the summer. And then my oldest was born in December, so I was barely pregnant during the summer. So, I still had that, but, barely. So I didn't have to suffer or anything, because apparently it's really hard to be pregnant.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I was pretty uncomfortable by the end. So this community baby shower... You said provides diapers and wipes, and then there's going to be other things. That's so nice, too, because I think until you go through that, you don't really anticipate how expensive diapers and wipes are. It's kind of a celebratory moment when your kid's potty trained and you're done with that bill.
Oh, God, it is. Yeah. well, then you move on to like the berry stage or the snack stage, and then it just adds another
Right.
expense to that part too. But yeah, the diaper stage is, I mean, there's so much money that goes into diapers, and it's ridiculous. So just being able to help in this little way, I mean, it might not be much, but it's something, and it's, yeah, just being able to help in that little way. I love that we get to do that.
I'm going to venture, I mean, diapers range in cost, but probably about a quarter a diaper, right? Would you say? Maybe 10 cents? 10 to 50. There's some pretty high-end diapers,
There
too,
are.
which are crazy.
Yeah, I'd say about that. I'm just like trying to go into how much we've spent on diapers, and that feels about right for it, and that adds up quick.
I can still remember our budget for diapers and wipes was $50. And if we didn't hit $50, that was great. But in my budget, I always had $50 for diapers and wipes. And we'd buy them in bulk. And it would be frustrating. Sometimes you'd get diapers that are too big, or it's not like you use the perfect amount when they're ready to go up in size or whatever. So a lot of it, is you buy the diapers and then you might end up donating them later. And yeah. What other kind of things are you guys going to have there?
So all of the bags that we're handing out, we're going to have 120 bags. So that's a first come, first serve thing. We are anticipating more families in that, but the bags are going to have like hand sanitizers, chapsticks, some skincare, and then they're going to have pamphlets from places like the Child Development Center, the food bank, and WBI with like mental health information. There's going to be Smile Academy is going to be there. They're going to have information for that. I said Habitat for Humanity is going to be there. They're going to have like to-do lists and whatnot. I don't know what everybody's going to have there, and I'm kind of excited to be surprised about that too. But yeah, there's going to be a lot there. Mercer is going to have some information on like postpartum depression and mental health, and we'll have some giveaway items at our table, just some little things. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of information. So, I mean, grab all of the things from all of the people so that way you can take it home and process it later. And you'll be able to get connected with the people around the community that can help you. The Department of Family Services are going to be there. They'll have information on the daycares in town, on SNAP, and stuff like that as well. So
I think it's really important people take advantage of the resources if they need them, especially when your baby is young, or maybe you're expecting the financial stressors with lack of sleep and all of the new routines and everything. That can be really tough for families. Why do you think it's important that women try to, and men, really get a leg up on this stage to help build a healthy foundation for their newborns and their little babes?
I mean, it all goes back to kind of the basics of having that connection in general. I mean, having the parents being able to have their feet on the ground and be stable helps their children be able to develop properly and on track and grow and just be fulfilled with everything that they need. Yeah, I mean, not everybody needs the resources, but if they are there for those that do need it. And I guess going back to just like when I had my kids, I needed the resources. And if I wouldn't have had some of these resources, I don't think my kids would be as like successful as they are now. And I mean, they're elementary age, and as smart as they are, we were able to use the Child Development Center for speech therapy for my son, and the at-home Head Start program for my son, to be able to develop and grow the things that he wasn't doing in general that I didn't know because I was a first-time mom with him. And it's great for those things. So, I mean, that first-time parent that doesn't know what they're doing because there's no manual for our kids. And then even for the next child, there's still no manual, and the next child's completely different. So,
Right.
I think it's important to just have that open mind and always be willing to grow with it. And learn from each thing, because everything's always changing, and we get new information. And
I think there's got to be, too, like the community aspect of it is really special, that you've got other people that are willing to donate, whether it's diapers or even time. I think knowing that the community's behind you is really helpful as a parent. And then for those kids, if they're seeing that mom and dad are stressed out, that might be really stressful for them too. And then they can't focus on playtime, which we know now from behavioral studies that playtime is learning time and development. So being able to be relaxed as a kid and just enjoy this summertime, I think that's really neat that you guys have something like this. 10 years. That's incredible.
It's important. Parents need, focus on being parents and let the kids be kids. And that's that's my big focus in life, and trying to push that. But also, like, let families be connected and let families be families. That connection and the community part, like the community connection is important as well, because we live in a pretty small community compared to a lot of places, and it can often feel secluded, especially as new parents. So being able to see that you have these resources and these people to reach out to. There's another place in town, the Kids Play Village. They're not going to be at this event, but they will have information in the bags. But they're a place that you can go hang out with your young kids during the day and meet other moms, and they serve coffee, or they have coffee there, like lattes and stuff, and just inside playtime for when the weather's gross, and it's just a blast, and you get to connect with other people, and your kids can connect with other kids. And I think we forget how important that connection is, because we just get so comfortable with being in ourselves sometimes, or we feel uncomfortable with reaching out.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I didn't really hit my stride with hanging out with other mommies and stuff until my second kid. With my first one, I had sort of an identity crisis. I didn't have a lot of family around me, and my husband worked a lot. And so I was lucky enough that I didn't have to work in the summertime right after I had my babies, my first one. And I just remember just feeling like I wasn't like that mom, or that I just wouldn't fit in with these other moms at the park or whatever. The identity thing was a big piece for me. And so I wish that I had taken advantage of resources, because I'm sure they were there. And sometimes it's hard to know about them until you start looking and searching for them. But definitely it's a game changer. With my second one, I forced myself, especially in the cold months, to get out of the house. And even when I'm feeling awkward, I'll just ask people questions about their lives, their day. Other moms you can assume, feel the same way. It can be awkward, these spaces where you meet up. And it's fun. Then you watch the kids. They don't have much of that, most of them. They're a little shy, but then they're holding hands and, hey, this is my best friend that I just met 5 minutes ago.
Yep. That's my first. My husband was a traveling CNA, and we actually traveled with him. So, I was very secluded. I was a stay-at-home mom for the first 5 years of his life, and then for the first couple of years of my daughter's life. So, I didn't know what I was doing. My family was here. We were traveling, and it got a little crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, I need to connect with people, because I'm losing my mind here. When I had my second too, I would be at the park, and I actually became the mom. I don't know if this is weird or not, but I became the mom that I carried like extra sunscreen, extra wipes, and everything. So I'd like look around, and if
that's a good in.
Didn't have like if I saw that they didn't have sunscreen or something, I'd be like, hey, like I have some extra. Here you go, and like that's how I would talk to them.
That's brilliant. Yes.
Because I'm very awkward sometimes, so
I think we all are, is like the thing. But then I saw other moms too would bring even like the next level people. They're on kid 3 or 4. They've got like a whole 6-pack of LaCroix, like sparkling water. I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. Yep. Because it does take a village. And it seems like when there's like more kids, I was going to say a herd of them, they're easier to manage. Everybody, you can kind of get around them. And it's fun to see kids engage and and learn from each other as well.
And I do love the pointing out the kids at the park. I mean, they could have matching shoelaces and then they'd be best friends, and that's how they connect. And I'm like, why can't moms do that? Like, oh, cool, we're both wearing pink tennis shoes. Like, let's be best friends at the park today. Like,
yep.
Why can't we do that? Come on.
Compliments are a good in, too. I've noticed most people like getting compliments. I try to find things that I genuinely like, just for the listener, if you ever get complimented in the wild, but
yes, no,
by
that's
me.
True. I also, I'm always like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Or now with, the parenting stuff that I'm learning through Mercer, I will acknowledge some of like the parenting skills that I'm seeing them do. Like, oh my gosh, like I really like the way you did that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And it's kind of a fun in. And
that's an interesting topic we could touch on a little bit too, is seeing the different parenting styles. And definitely we're all just learning in real time. And the first one is your experiment. Sorry, kids. And the second one, by then you feel a little more confident. And then I am one of 6, so I feel like the youngest in my family. My parents were so laid back and chill about things. Things would just, that used to be a big deal with me and my twin, who are the co-eldest. By the time the youngest ones got to high school, it was like a whole new ball game. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so you got to empathize with other parents, too. Sometimes we see the parent who's stressed out, maybe barking at their kids, and it's maybe a little cringy. But I think we have to always be understanding, too, that people are going through things. They're scared, anxious. Parenting can be a little bit scary.
Oh, it's terrifying. And with the way the world's changing, I feel like sometimes it gets even scarier because, we want so much for our kids, and we have no control over everything that's outside of it. And me as a mom, I want control over everything, and I don't have it. And I think that makes it a little bit more frustrating, and that kind of causes some of those issues because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's.
I was just thinking of Finding Nemo and the dad, the clownfish. I think his name's
Marlin.
Marlin. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say Merlin. Okay. Yeah. We just watched this yesterday. But I remember the message, it really speaks to parents. You've got to let go a little bit. And that's really hard, especially for your older kid. You're 8. I said I'm almost 7, my oldest. And little things like, I just read a book on parenting about little things that you should stop doing for your kids. If there's a pitcher of water on the table and this one gets messy, let them pour the water. And that's really hard. It's a trial by error kind of thing.
My son loves packing his own lunch in the mornings, and for a while we were doing Uncrustables, but that cost, it adds up. And I was just like, okay, let's move to regular peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And he's 8. He can make his own sandwich, but I was hesitant. I didn't want to, but that was a me thing. I didn't want him to grow up in that moment. And I was like, whoa, that was he is fully capable of this. I need to step back and let him grow, even though it's hard for me. And that was kind of a realization moment. And then I noticed that I do that with my daughter, the younger one too. There's a lot of things I don't want to let her do because I just don't want her to grow up. And I think that's somewhat a barrier too, is especially because I'm done having kids now. I'm not having any more. And I don't want them to do these things, but they can and they need to. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting to see your child put on their shoes and walk out to the car, open the door, and get in the car by themselves for the first time. It's like, oh. And I'm so late to the party. I was like, you're not a baby anymore at 7. And it's like, oh my gosh, that just started happening.
Every once in a while I'll just start crying because I'm like, oh, when did this happen? I blinked and now you're a big kid and you're doing big kid things. And how did how did this happen? So
this might be a good segue into this other question I have for you about how you start incorporating responsibility into a child's life and maybe why that's even important.
So this is actually, I'm going to kind of go to one of my classes that I teach at Mercer called Nurtured Heart Approach, because I use that to kind of influence my children to partake in house duties type of things. So Nurtured Heart Approach it's a class about helping parents learn how to deal with intense kids. So my son is on the spectrum a little bit, and I say that came out weird, but and he's an intense child. He's got intense feelings, and getting him to do chores is difficult. I realized that I was approaching it in a way that, made him more resistant to it. And the way that I get him included with it is we had like a family meeting and discussed rules of the house. And he got to make some of the rules of the house. And he got some input on what he thinks needs to happen in the house. And one of the things that he said was, like, if I ask him to do something, he wants me to explain, like, why I want him to do it. So, like, asking him to empty the dishwasher, he just wants me to explain, I need you to empty the dishwasher so that way I can fill the dishwasher. And he'll go do it without any argument. So if I explain more, then he'll do it. And, like, cleaning his room. If I say, hey, bud, it's time to clean your room, or I'll say, hey, you have until 11 o'clock today to clean your room. And sometimes he'll do it. Other times he'll be like, hey, like, why? And I'll be like, well, because we have to leave the house at this time, or because I plan on vacuuming your room at this time, or something like that. And we just set those boundaries on, like, why it's needing to happen, and that works for him. My daughter, on the other hand, that does not work for her. She's only 5, and she's like, no, I'm not going to do anything you tell me to do. So for her, I have to kind of get more involved with her and be like, hey, can you help me do this? Like, let's do this together. And I'm teaching her how to do these things. That way, when she's a little bit older, she'll be able to do them on her own, and I can kind of do the same thing with him. And I think, like, starting them pretty young with helping do the chores and the house duties is kind of where it's important to be able to get them to do that later on. Their favorite thing to do is mop. I just have to say, hey, can you guys go mop the downstairs floor? And they're both like, we're down. So I was like, okay, like, I'm like, I use that as a reward sometimes. Like, hey, if you guys do this, you could go downstairs and mop later. And then that works too. So use what you can to kind of manipulate without manipulation.
I've noticed with my 4-year-old, she can only keep like 1 or 2 commands in her head at a time. Mm-hmm. So when we clean her room, I take a page out of my grandmother's playbook, and I just kind of have to resist the urge to do it all for her, but I'll sit on the bed and I have to point to things. Put that over there. Put your shoes over there. And it's like 50 things, but for however long I can keep her attention. And the work as a parent is making sure that everything does have a place. Mm-hmm. You've got to really structure, I think, not that I'm an expert, but have an organized kind of system so that things do have a place and it makes sense. And that all goes back to rationale. It was funny, too, that you said that your son needs to know why something's important. Mm-hmm. They taught me when I was a teacher on assignments to always include that at the top, the rationale, we called it. So just a few sentences. And then sometimes kids will argue against that. Well, Papa, it's like, whoa, it wasn't up for debate. Now you know why I think this is important. Mm-hmm. If you disagree, it doesn't matter. Do it anyway.
I was like, sometimes my answer is going to be just because I need it done or just because I said so, and you're going to have to accept that. But if there is more of a reason, I will give it.
Right.
But letting them have a say in the things helps a lot. And not calling them chores and calling them contributions also. Mm-hmm. Once they understand the word contributions, the 4-year-old might not get that. My 5-year-old does not get that. But the 8-year-old does. He's like, okay, I'm going to contribute to the house. I'm going to do the big boy things. I'm going to do this. When Dad's not home, I'm the man of the house. Like, that kind of thing. He loves having that mindset. So. Oh,
I love that. And he can take pride in his work. Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot to keep a household running smoothly. For me, I tried to do, personally, I'm like, if I just do a little bit of dishes and 1 load of laundry every day, it's never going to become the mountain. And then on my time off, when I should be present and really enjoying my family, I've got to take care of this mountain of laundry or dishes, etc. So even the little things that they can help with, I think it does contribute. I love that word, to the well-being of the home. Mm-hmm. My husband's really good about doing dishes because I don't like doing them, so I better add that. I hate doing dishes. That's my least favorite chore. I'll put things in the dishwasher, but once it starts to, like the pans and stuff start getting a little, yeah. I just let them kind of sit on the oven, but I'm lucky that I get a little bit of help that way. But I'll do laundry all day. And then the kids love putting things on hangers because we hang a lot of shirts, and they love to match socks.
Oh, socks is the one thing in my house that I have decided, and this is something too that I live by. If there's something that you can just kind of let go and let be for your own mental sanity, let it. We have one clothes basket that we have dedicated, and it's our communal sock basket.
I love
so we
this.
Don't actually match. We match the socks when we pick them out of the basket, but they just all get thrown in there, and they're all clean socks. Just go through and find a pair because I hate matching socks, and nobody wants to take the time to do that in my house. So that's kind of, I was like, that we just have our sock basket.
Socks will be an endless mystery to all of us everywhere, I think. I'll make like a commitment to only buying one specific brand per person. Everybody gets the Hanes, white, whatever. And no matter what, people will gift you a pack of socks. You'll get all these different kind of socks. And why they don't stay together, why some go missing and are never to be found again, I don't know. But we do have that basket you're talking about. And that's one of those things that drops off my priority list real quickly when the going gets rough. And our daycare providers know I've sent my young kid to school in mismatched socks probably more than not. So,
my kids don't have matching socks today too. They're the same kind of socks, just not the same. Yeah, it's like they're both ankle socks because that would drive me nuts if one was wearing long socks and one was wearing short socks.
Right. We have standards.
Yeah, I was like, exactly. There's standards on. I mean, wear the same type of sock, but if it's different characters, different colors, like whatever, go for it. So.
One thing we talked about last time that this reminds me of is just the importance of fun and freedom, and having a good childhood can be, it does include responsibilities, but on the flip side, what do you think about trying to create little moments of just, I don't know, the viral word right now is glimmers, right? It's those special moments and memories.
I'm all about that in our lives. Those little memories that, even if they don't remember them, I'm going to remember them. And like, I want that for the rest of our lives because they're growing up so fast.
How do you cultivate family time where everybody has the warm fuzzies and you're all together?
At first it was a little difficult because it was something that we weren't like completely used to. And now it just happens. So weekends we unplug. We don't have our phones. TV's off except for like a movie at night, and we just hang out together. So when it's nice out, we make sure we go to the park, and mom and dad are on the playground with them. We're interacting, we're having fun, we're laughing, we're being ridiculous and crazy and making or embarrassing the crap out of our kids because that's what we do. And if we're at home or something and we're getting a little stir crazy, I actually have dance parties with my kids all the time.
I love it.
My son, very proud mom moment. He's obsessed with the song Bye 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 right now. Big NSYNC fan, so I was like, woohoo, yes, let's do this. So we've been dancing to that like every day, and we'll just, those little moments of things that they enjoy to do that are easy to do, we make happen. In the mornings when we're getting ready, we listen to this affirmation song, and we'll dance to that while we're getting dressed and getting ready, having our breakfast. I try to make even the most like mundane have to do things a little bit more exciting. When we're grocery shopping, if they're getting a little antsy, we'll have dance breaks in the middle of the aisle. So if you see a family having dance breaks in the middle of Walmart, like that's probably us, and you're more than welcome to join because sometimes it gets a little crazy.
The CY Albertsons actually has a really great playlist. I don't know who's in charge of the music, but if you're listening to this, we really appreciate that.
Agreed. It is fantastic, and we have, my favorite grocery store to shop in because of your playlist.
I love it. And music is a great unifier. Something I've also just been hearing from other people is about affirmations and how important that is for kids who are growing, and that they need to hear that they're loved, that people can do different, fill in the blank. I always tell my kids they're funny and they're smart. I usually, like before bedtime, that's when I check in and we do prayers, and it's just, I try to focus more on the gratitude instead of I want please give me this. My kids always throw in there one of those, like, please help mom to be nice and let us go to the park tomorrow. No. Hey, man, I'm like, okay, I hear you, kid.
This is something I share with everybody because it just makes me so happy. Snoop Dogg has a channel on YouTube called Doggyland. It's a kids channel.
Of course he does.
Oh, my God. It's magical. But he has an affirmation song. So that's the affirmation song we listen to in the morning. It's the Snoop Dogg affirmations. And it is fantastic. I listen to it by myself sometimes because it just...
Oh, my gosh. Okay, I want to hear this.
So,
in the morning. Okay.
Highly recommend.
Because we do music, and it's a game changer. It just gets people's, like, that's how the kids wake up, and everybody's in a much better mood. Even my husband. Sometimes, people are not in a great mood when they wake up. But I always get up first at, like, 6:30 to get some things done, and then I have to get everybody up at 7, and it's like, I say, a rodeo, getting into the car and getting to school on time. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't take an hour and 20 minutes, but it does. But having the music on, I feel like everybody is kind of dancing and wanting to, it just brings them together, which is so interesting, opposed to just the quiet, kind of slow, groggy mornings. I just encourage all parents to get those little moments of sunshine whenever you can, because it does go really fast. Do you have anything you want to end with?
No, that's kind of just perfect. Love your kids and spend as much time with them as you can while you do have it, because, the world is moving too fast and our time is much less than we ever anticipate it to be. And we don't want to miss any of these magical moments that we don't know are going to be magical moments until they're past.
This has been Report to Wyoming, presented in the public interest by Town Square Media.